let's meet the Igigi, the ancient astronauts who rebelled against the Anunnaki Nephilim. The ancient Anunnaki are said to have created the human race by genetically modifying early humans in order to use them as a labor force, but before humans were created, the Igigi were used by the ancient Anunnaki as their main labor force. Let's remember, even in Genesis, there's a very strange passage concerning monatomic gold. So it's said that the Igigi, who turn and see, that's what it means, were the ancient astronaut gods of the younger generation, the servants to the mighty Anunnaki who came to Earth to mine gold. The terminology used to describe the gods is extremely complicated and still needs much study. Researchers believe the term Igigi is of Semitic origin and indicates the group of gods in the Mesopotamian pantheon. It is still unclear which ancient gods belong to the Igigi, but many scholars suggest Marduk, the patron god of the city of Babylon, was one of these Igigi. Mainstream scholars use the term Igigi to make reference to the Sumerian mythological deities. According to mainstream scholars, mythologically speaking, the Igigi were the younger servants of the Anunnaki who initiated a rebellion against their masters and dictatorship of Enlil. Eventually, the Anunnaki replaced the Igigi with humans. In the myth of Atrahasis, the Babylonian story of the flood, and the precursor of the deluge story of the Gilgamesh epic, the Sumerian paradise is described as a garden where lower gods, the Igigi, were put to work digging a watercourse by their masters, the Anunnaki. Quote, when the gods, like men, bore the work and suffered the toil of the gods was great, the work was heavy, and the distress was much, end quote. And again, the source says, the 7 great Anunnaki were making the Igigi suffer the work. When the gods, like man-like, bore the labor, carried the load, the gods' load was great, the toil grievous, and the trouble excessive. The great Anunnaki, the 7, were making the Igigi undertake the toil. Now, ancient astronaut hypothesis suggests that the Igigi were similar to the Anunnaki, remaining in the constant orbit around our planet. They were basically considered as intermediaries between our planet and Nibiru, home of the Anunnaki. Many believe that the Igigi remained in constant orbit around our planet in giant platforms, which processed ores which were delivered from Earth. After processing the minerals, the material was transferred to other ships and eventually transported to the home planet of the Anunnaki. The Igigi were apparently ever encountered by mankind. It's said that several texts make reference to them, saying that the Igigi were, quote, too high up for mankind, end quote, and consequently were not concerned with the people. After years of tenuous and hard work for the Anunnaki, the Igigi rebelled against their masters, and it's said that they set fire to their tools and surrounded Enlil's great house by night, forcing the ancient Anunnaki to find another source of labor. And this is why the ancient Anunnaki replaced the Igigi after genetically engineering ancient humans, creating a greater workforce. Many authors suggest that the human slave race, quote-unquote, was created after the ancient Anunnaki genetically modified their genes and that of early humans nearly 500,000 years ago. This is via Ancient Code on Bended Reality. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.